enough time to get there and then re-engage and then win the team fight.
All right, how he just killed me.
Here,
where was that heal?
Number 2 Genji
Where was
now.
that heal?
That heal?
That heal.
Lucio was, yeah, I think he was AFK.
Yeah, but what about you?
What about me? I'm a panda. Panda life.
I know.
I'm a little panda, short and stout.
The demon Asmodan had his ultimate victory within reach, until the opposing heroes dealt him a devastating defeat. Asmodan went back to the drawing board and rediscovered his love of the game. The Lord of Sin became the Lord of the Slam.
This is my house. Let's see if you've got game. There it is. Dude, welcome to my jam.
Sombra, it's on you now.
I'm all over it.
See the full animated short at playoverwatch.com.
HGC Europe is all tied up here 1-1 between Synergy and the Playing Ducks, and we're gearing up for game number 3, but this matchup is looking much closer than I think we expected.
Yeah, I like it. We've been talking about what happened before both of the teams went into this match here today. Playing Ducks losing against B-Genius, being quite upset about that. Synergy having an awful showing yesterday and being a completely different team today, which I absolutely love. They were very critical about themselves and their own performance, and they said, okay, tomorrow, we're going to be there tomorrow, especially Hydra. He went so far, he said, like, yeah, I'm sorry, I played really bad. And I was like, well, I don't think it was necessarily you as a person. He said, you just wait. Tomorrow, we are going to completely crush them. I was like, all right, confidence, I like it. And so far, it's justified. But the Ducks, of course, not being a pushover team, they already have one win on map number 1, and now we're going into the third one.
We're going to the third one, and we're going to see what exactly will be happening. Which battleground are we moving into? It is going to be Dragonshire. Synergy with the pick.
Synergy with the pick here. They choose to go for Dragonshire. And what did we see the last time? We saw Rexxar. Exactly. So we saw a boy. Didn't really work out perfectly for them, but it's definitely a pick that they can use. Once again, they also like to play Probius. It always feels a little bit silly stating that, because a lot of people that don't really watch a whole lot of Synergy and don't know the team, don't know experts, probably look at this and like, what is he talking about? But this is really something that works for them. Rexxar, Probius, Hydra is just good on these heroes, and as we just saw, he's also solid on the Sonya, so they're switching things up a bit. And that might actually be happening here now too. So in the past, we would have said, okay, this is a map where you have, as Playing Ducks, to be very careful about Hydra on the Rexxar, because he makes this hero work. But now maybe they have a bit more of a standard approach to the game, which what we just saw. Maybe again a Sonya for the top lane.
And I like it too. It's wise to play meta heroes occasionally. That way it makes your off picks that much more stronger. If you expect it every single time, if you expect a Rexxar or a Vikings play, you can play around those in draft to make sure that you're set up to play against them.
And the Ducks made a decision going into this series today. They basically said, you know what? Every single game, we are just going to ban out the Vala. We're going to push our opponent out of their comfort zone, and their comfort zone is obviously the double support Oriel Vala play, so let's make sure they don't get that at all. So it doesn't really feel they adjust to anything in specifically. They did the research before that, guys, this is a constant theme that we see for Synergy. Let's ban out the Oriel every single time we can. That already destroys one of the standard avenues that Synergy goes down, and then we take the draft from there.
Yep. So Oriel being banned out, no longer a thing here. We have the Abathur being banned out too, which is becoming a big deal on Dragonshire. We see it very often as of late.
Also, I think it's one of the, I don't really want to call it a soft ban, but it's one of the things where you're trying to shut down the potential Zeratul Abathur play. We've been talking about Medivh a lot and about Sport Billy as someone who can use it. I wouldn't put it past the Ducks to now use a Medivh on this map, but I think this is really them just saying, okay, listen, Abathur has so many good copy targets right now. We could see the Greymane as an addition, but if we, again, have Sport Billy on Zeratul, and then all of a sudden there's an Abathur in the mix as well, we are screwed. So Synergy is saying that's not happening, but we don't ban out the Zeratul, we ban out the Abathur instead. We can deal with the Zeratul, especially if we can pick Variant, for example, but the combo is just something that is too strong.
What's interesting is today we're seeing a lot of Falstad. You know, yesterday we saw a lot of Zagara in particular. We're actually on Battlegrounds here with Zagara is getting mixed in. So if we get to game 4 and game number 5, we see that Zagara making a big comeback once again for our team. So Falstad again being the priority between Playing Ducks and Synergy. Playing Ducks will get their Falstad here on the right side. Now Synergy is the answer. Move straight to the Dahaka.
Dahaka would be one. This is the thing. If you go into the Dahaka right now, you also commit Dahaka to the top lane. And if you are running Hydra on a hero again, you might not even want to do this. And as you can see, they go away from Dahaka. So they don't really want to put Hydra on Dahaka for the top lane. They're saying, hey, we have other heroes that can have more of an impact over there. The danger, of course, is that your opponent out-rotates you. Yeah. So they accept that. And this is one of the things that even Playing Ducks might not have anticipated, where they're just saying, okay, listen, they didn't pick Dahaka. Do we now get them? Or do we just say, okay, it can get banned out?
Yes, the out-rotation.
I need more coffee.
In the early game is scary, and then also the late game. Remember, the epic mounts of Rushstalker being available, changing out those dragon shrines again in the late game. And with it being Dragon Share, you normally get there. Greymane and Malfurion will be the pickup for the Ducks, so they're grabbing their auto-attack damage here. They get Malfurion to help out with the assistant healing, and the Roots. They have been pivotal here in this matchup between these two teams.
Yeah.
Every time a Root hit, it feels like someone dies.
His Roots are on fire.
Is that a song? Is that a song?
Is that an honest question?
Yeah, seriously. Am I like...
Dude, I am
listening.
I am listening to the oldest crap in your car every single morning when we drive here, and you don't know that?
No, I don't, man. My music knowledge is really bad, dude.
Oh my
God. I'll be honest with you, dude. Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys. Those are the only songs that I can name titles to.
That's the same era.
It's okay.
Wow. Trick.
I know, man.
We need to work on that.
I know. I'm a weird person, dude.
I was waiting for you to jump in on the second one.
I'll let you down.
Oh, all right.
Where's that chemistry? It's out the window.
Yeah, it's gone.
These are the worst commentators in the world. Boom, just like that.
It's atrocious.
Varian banned out, so Synergy done and done with the hard engages here. Especially with the Malfurion showing up, it becomes even more of a priority, because that's what happened for game number 1. Synergy knows it's a combo, and they can't deal with it, so they just get rid of it.
First map, that was basically when they said, okay, we hate Varian now.
We're done.
We're done with Varian. It's more or less the same approach in game 2 and game 3 that we've seen for all 3 maps so far from the Oriel ban. So it's just like, okay, let's just get that guy out. They picked the cooldown already super early, so this is another tool that they don't have to deal with. I really think from their perspective, they are probably approaching this a bit with the idea, what do we really hate to give them? And the counter Hydra pick. So they're saying, Gul'dan screwed us in the first game. Those Horrifies are on point. We don't want to give that over to Chris. We don't want a Zeratul with an Abathur, so we take the Gul'dan, we ban out the Abathur. If they take Zeratul, we can counter that. So far that hasn't happened. They ban out the Varian. I like the approach into the draft a lot more from what we're seeing for Synergy here. It's not really the standard that you would see from one of the big 3 teams, but for them, this is something that I feel really works out because they have to get rid of these things that push them out of their comfort zone too much. And I like how we are seeing adjustments on the side of Playing Ducks. Them saying, Oriel, no double support. And the Vikings, because they know Hydra is also someone who plays Vikings a fair amount.
What I'm curious about is whether or not we'll see an Arthas from Synergy. It's so good against Greymane, and we've seen him play it in the past, but they just seem to have forgotten about him in the last couple of drafts they've been in. Arthas would be a solid pickup for them and give them a nice wave clear, give them the engage they want, but to be fair, they do have their Anubrek.
And the question is, what do they put in the top lane?
Yeah.
So Arthas, I agree, would be great if they want to have their combo, but we have, first of all, Wolverine and Cassia. Awesome.
Cassia and Karazim in the mix with the Hugh Jackman skin.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are set up in terms of that, and Cassia is the second time that we will be seeing her. She was played by B Genus. Not so hot there. It got picked off by constant rotations, by Zagara in particular, with Fnatic just really beating in that rotation overall. But this is a battleground that is much smaller, and there are the movements between the middle and the bottom lane. Cassia can get into her engagements.
I did not necessarily expect the Cassia here. Cassia is one of those heroes that really needs to have a solid setup around her. A lot of the players that you talk to so far just basically agree, yes, she can be really strong, but she is also very dependent on the composition and what you are facing. Yeah. So right now, with an Anubarak for the engage, it already looks quite strong. Question is, do they spec into even more melee? I still feel that we are going to see another top laner for them, and in the back of my head, there's always this question. Is it going to be one of these oddball picks? Is it going to be a Rexa, a Probia, something that where Hydra really says, I can push out any lane and have massive wave clear? Leoric for the top lane confirmed on the side of the Ducks, and Johanna for Cresplosion. I like him on the Johanna quite a bit. It feels like he's also very robust on. It's more difficult to take him down. And he has been a major point of focus for the last two teams that the Ducks faced. We saw that with Meriden on the last map. By Synergy, the last time they faced BGenius, it was on the Nubarak mostly.
Keldor, question. Have you seen Europe run any Valkyrie on Cassia?
No. Not yet. But then again, Cassia has only been around in scrims for a couple of days. So we might see adjustment later on the road, but so far, not yet.
I'm wondering if this is the time that we get that Valkyrie. Valkyrie and pull maybe Malfurion or someone in the back line even gramming toward your team, and then you Gul'dan follow up with the Horrify, and they are just charging into you.
But if you have 3 heroes that are very likely to be in the middle of you, I'd say probably not.
Yeah.
Especially once you hit the 20, and this is a map where 20 is very, very likely to occur.
That's true. The Infinite Lightning Ball. Oh, so strong.
They go into the Haka after all. Wow.
Yeah, they pick him up.
I did not think they would do that. I really expected them to go into something that I would say Pyro looks a little bit more comfortable on. So very standard for them. Cassia, of course, putting a bit of a new nuance into this. But the Haka still for that top lane very late in the draft, so they were willing to let it go for a long time and even offer the Ducks, hey, if you want it, you can have it. But now they have their top laner, and it's a very normal top laner considering what Synergy is kind of known for. But it worked out really well for them in the last game. I like it. It's good.
Yeah, so Dahaka will be against that Leoric. A little bit better than Rexar. We saw Rexar getting picked off constantly yesterday by Leoric, the Drain Hope being a pain, and Misha getting killed often, which is very unfortunate.
Also, if you think about it, it helps Cassia as well, because we said she needs other heroes around her. It's really that front line. I don't think that Rexar necessarily feels the role to the same extent, so I feel that the Haka has a bit more value in this setup. And then again, we were talking about the possible Probios, also because yesterday it's another hero that they've been thinking about apparently. So this time it doesn't really work here in the team fight later on to the same extent. So if you want to empower Cassia, the composition here makes sense. And I like the Haka, don't get me wrong, it's just one of the things where for Synergy, it's actually a bit unorthodox.
Yeah, especially with us seeing them being normal in game number 2. Let's go ahead and get ready for game number 3 here. It will be Dragonshire. The series is tied up right now. Who will take the lead? We'll find out in a couple of seconds.
Dragonshire is our 3rd map. The series is tied, and we have Cassia in the game. Currently, we are playing on the Genji patch, the hero himself. Genji is, of course, not allowed yet. It's a bit too new, but Cassia, our girl, is in play. And currently, we're seeing Cassia played by Sir Ice Cream with Neon on Gul'dan, Sevka on Karazim, Hydra on the Haka, and Power of Dreams on Anubarak.
The Ducks are in the right here. On the right side, Wolf Joe will be playing Malfurion. Leoric will be played by Nande. Chris will be playing the Grey Main. Falstad will be played by Sport Billy. And last but not least, Cresplosion on Johanna.
Already a bit of a fly-in, trying to see if we can get the early position, where we get a bit of a quick attack going. Nothing too crazy yet. Cresplosion still here with a Condemn. But yeah, the infamous 5-man brawl in the mid lane.
And those blinds now will be the story for both of these teams. Sir Ice Cream having a blind himself on his W, and then Johanna with her own blinds. He is Cassia, they can focus down the gold down the back line, so Neon will have to have really good positioning. Power is only out false on the left side, but Hydra getting taken here. It even goes for a last-second oddball drag. Cresplosion, though, low on health. Can they get him? No. All the rest of the Ducks get out.
They might. Sevka is still following, but he doesn't want to go too deep here. Cresplosion just taunting him right in front of his face, starting the B back.
But I would have gone for it.
Of course you. I don't doubt that for a second.
Easily. 100%, man.
You would have domed in, killed the Johanna, died yourself, and then you would have spammed out worth it.
Worth, 100%. W-E-R-T-H. That's how you spell it. All right, so Dahaka and Leoric on the top lane starting it out. We go back to normal lanes, and all in all, the experience slightly in the lead of Synergy, actually, as they were able to get in that top lane and get a couple of hits.
Yeah, that kill against Dahaka, he of course moved back to the top lane, but it got a bit awkward when he all of a sudden tried to get a tongue into nowhere. But we have also Cassia in the game, and I think we should talk about her a bit more. You might not have caught the Cassia game yesterday. So currently, one of the talents that you basically see in every single build that has been run, being at scrims or being at official games, is with lunging strike as on the level 1. So a lot of damage output there. Sorry, I'm actually on the wrong one here. Of course, on the lunging strike. We're not there yet. We're on the level 1 still. The charge strikes. There we go. For the basic attack damage. It's actually pretty insane how much damage you can push out with that. The Ring of Leech usually follows as in a level 7, so you have a bit more sustain at that front line against blinded targets. And it's also one of the reasons why we sometimes see Cassia coupled with even more heroes that can blind.
Yep, she naturally fits with Lily, and the lines that come out, or Johanna as well. Can really mix in with that level 4 talent too. Just getting out those heals. So if you want to at home, if you have a couple of friends floating around, I know they can be rare and hard to find. I know I myself have a hard time getting people to join in to play these blind compositions because I mentioned I'm like, let's play Cassia, let's play Lily, and they're like, all right, Trick, we're gonna go play solo queue because that sounds way more fun. But if you can get a couple people in the mix and get it in, you can really get those synergies working out. So try that in the future here. Power on the left side, dealing with 4 billion Chris Explosion, and the rotations will begin. Chris on the right side helping out with the clearing, and Playing Ducks have eked out a slight advantage in experience.
Yeah, and also Cassia has changed the build a little bit, so I was just saying that we oftentimes see the Ring of Leech take. In this case, it's the Plate of the Whale, so you're aiming with the quest talent for a bit more max health. Increasing that helps her, of course, with the sustain. It's one of the problems that Cassia sometimes has, that she can be focused if she is a little bit too far out in team fights, especially, of course, if you are able to drop a lot of spell damage on her. Right now, we have a very good position, though, for Synergy at that bot lane, where they hold their position, hold their ground. But Dehaka at the top is having a rough time against Leoric to maintain the shrine control.
Sefka also having a rough time. He's getting hit here, low on health. Explosion will finally come in with the final blow there and hit the connect. Sir Ice Cream going in for the Finn damage. Will get spoken really low, but that gives Chris the chance to dive in.
Yeah, it's a really nice setup that we are seeing in the mid lane. Gul'dan is still doing Gul'dan things, pushing the lanes out. But overall, the Ducks now with 2 kills against 0, looking strong here and making the rotation into the middle. A Condemn hits and it hits hard. Neon is down, tries to turn around for some extra damage, but that is the 3rd kill for the Ducks. They are doing well here.
Ducks having much better rotations than their opponents here, keeping up with it. So, Caldora, what you're saying is that Abathur and Zeratul go together like pineapple and pizza.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good analogy that everybody can completely understand and agrees upon.
Everybody.
Everybody, without exception. Debated.
It's just moments like that where I don't have words, man. I've got nothing to say, dude. Get outplayed overall.
Talking about outplayed, right now it looks like we're seeing, at least for the first objective, Synergy being outplayed. At least both of the shrines are now under the control of the Ducks, and they are already going straight into the mid. I must say the Ducks, they look really playful today.
Kador, do you hate me today? Like, do you really? Like, what's going on? What's up with this Saturday? Sefka in trouble. Chris goes in, gets a kill. Hydra's hoping to get more, but with Wolf Joe showing up, he has to retreat. And the playing Ducks get focused by the new Brack. Please take over the commentary.
All right, Ice Cream is low. Oh, they get the kill here. Oh my god, that should actually be them going straight for an objective right now. Yes, Greyman is still down, but that counter kill against Cassia was absolutely worth it. Once again, jumping in here. Hydra is low, gets rooted. Wolfjaw low on mana, but should still have a few more spells in him. Leoric already on his way into the middle, but Synergy holds still down here at the bot lane. Is able to defend. Yeah, is able to defend the shrine for now, and so far no Dragon Knight has been taken, but of course the Ducks are starting to move in a little bit closer towards that level 10. It's a half-level lead that they maintain.
Yeah, that was definitely a brawl. The tank's holding on the bottom there. Hydra in the top right actually used his essence out on the bottom, so he needs to be careful here. He's actually getting hit by Nande. Nande going for it. Here comes Fawcett, though, the hammering for the kill. The drag. Wait, does Hydra live? No, he doesn't. He gets picked off there, and that will actually be a millisecond away from level 10 hitting for the Playing Ducks, and now they can afford aggressive plays.
But that was really cool play from the Haka.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. What he just did was awesome. He dodged the drain with a quick burrow and then was fast enough to shut down Falstad and nearly get a kill there. If someone else would have been in the area, they could have netted them a double kill. So that was actually pretty cool. Was a bit too far out and he got punished for that, but he tried to make that work. Level 10 is there, but the Ducks, it doesn't really look like they can capitalize on it with the Dragon Knight. They're trying to get experience at the top and in the bottom. There comes the Twilight Dream, though, and that's Charism falling. Good kill for the Ducks here. 7 kills against 1. Yep. 1 level lead already.
They're keeping up with this. Ice Cream attempting to save his teammate with the blind, but slightly too late. Chris getting the kill there. The 10 finally does hit and pays off for them in dividends. We're going to have the Playing Ducks with both of the dragons here. We immediately have someone in the middle grabbing the shrine, and now the Knight is here for Sport Billy.
taken by Sport Billy. Also, we have on level 10 the Ball of Lightning taken for Cassia. On level 7, it's the Impale for the fend damage increase. Cocoon once more, so they're really trying to force these fights, but Cocoon is oftentimes the tool that is a bit more difficult to use when you're falling behind. Now they're on even talents, so they are going to try and force an engagement once the Dragonite is down to see if they can take one of these team battles, especially since they also went into the 7-sided on Charism.
Gonna keep an eye out for that Ball of Lightning. In fact, it's being used here on the bottom right. They jump on top of Chris. See, Cocoon comes out the last second too, so Power and crew can come in here and kill off this Greymane. Can they get it? They do turn around. Chris turns around for his own kill himself, but that 65... he actually gets it with the last slash there. Neon will fill out second kill, but Cassia falling victim to Greymane.
Cassia just hates her life right now. That was super unfortunate. You are in a position where you already go for the isolation and then you want to get the kill against Greymane. And Chris just said, you know what, I'm dying anyways. No matter what I do right now, I am dead. But maybe I can get the counter kill, and he's actually able to pull it off. Great decision making by him. So yeah, that was well done. Gets the trade, and now we have level 13 on the side of the Dark. Silence, and the end of Gul'dan.
Zefka using 7-sided strike just to live here, will dash over to Power, does attempt to get out and will survive, but that Twilight Dream from Wolfjo, the synergy, Nande coming in with also the Entomb to act as a pseudo force wall, secures the kill on Gul'dan.
The Ducks are so aggressive right now. They're really carrying this momentum. Once they hit a slight advantage, they just got aggressive. It's crazy. So they are going in full on out, and it works incredibly well. I like this quite a lot, what we are currently seeing from them. So they respond to the loss on the last map, but of course the big question is still, can Synergy force a good team fight? Ideally on level 13 talents. They can play this slow. There's no objective on the map. There's no real need for them to move in and take a fight just now. So they can wait a little bit longer, wait for the 13 talent, and try to engage with Cocoon.
Oh, but they're forcing something here. Cocoon comes out, hits on the right side. Wolfjo will kill it off. And without Cocoon being up, I think I agree with you here. You need to back up. Hydra goes in for it. They do hit the drag, but the cleanse instantly comes out from Wolfjo. Here is a big wall from Nanda. The Entomb connects. Gonna have a kill here. Chris low on health. The Ball of Lightning is jumping around. Chris attempting to retreat, and he gets away.
Gets away, and Synergy, again, I have to question the decision-making here. Why go in for such an attack if you are just 20-30% away from level 13? There's no real need to force this battle. And it was not a position that was so good that you say, okay, you have to immediately jump on it. You could play this a little bit safer, and it's one of the problems that Synergy had in the past. They have been too aggressive here. They have a decent setup that can make a lot of work. Now they have another opportunity to fight on level 13 talents now that they just grab the next one. And this is the battle that they should have waited for.
It feels like Synergy tries to rely on a lot of surprise tactics a little bit too much when they're behind. It's happened 3 times now in the series, a couple times in the first map, Infernal Shrines, and now here on Dragonshire. The Ducks walk away with the fight due to their talent advantage and the globals as they rotate in with Falstad, and they now grab a dragon to start pushing down turrets and forts.
Yeah, and it all happens on the back of a bad team fight that you took. So they were not able to deny the Dragonite. The Ducks doing well, moving in once again, trying to see if they can take down additional structures. The problem is more so that we have the Ducks aiming for level 16 right now. This is the biggest problem that Synergy is currently facing. They are trying to force a fight on level 13 talents, but if the Ducks get a few more structures, they might deny that opportunity to Synergy.
The playing Ducks are set up in a spot. Notice how they have put 5 members around this bush area because Dahaka disappeared from the top lane. They were ready for Dahaka to rotate in. They could turn around and focus them down. Dahaka, realizing this, did not move in. Instead, showed himself in the top lane once again to make sure that aggression would not come their way. Now, Nande and Chris Explosion are moving in for a potential kill on Hydra here. Gonna have the Entomb come out, watching out for that burrow.
Yeah, he's getting wrecked here. I mean, there's 4 heroes against 1. There is just no way. So Ice Cream and the rest of them, they are just a little bit too low. And this is 16 now. This is 16 talent. Sport Billy out of the Dragonite, drops it, Gusts. Great play by Sport Billy.
Cassia just got destroyed there. Mighty Gust, the Twilight Dream coming out. 2 wonderful plays from 2 of the great players there from the support and, of course, Sport Billy. But Jesus, they were taken out so quickly there. Only Gul'dan and our Karazim left. Karazim runs the bottom to soak experience while playing Ducks. Just grabs a fort.
Synergy is off again at this point. The coordination just isn't there. They are taking fights they shouldn't take, and then the Ducks are completely capitalizing on it. Not only do they, of course, go into these battles that Synergy, where they should just wait, but they are just forcing one fight after another where they have a talent lead, where they have the good position, and they always capitalize on the fact that we saw staggered deaths as well. Great move by Sport Billy, once again with a good gust. Cassia never really getting the setups that she wants, and this is starting to become a problem. Synergy, they need to take a breather for a moment. Try to play this passive until level 16. They're probably going to get 2 good team fights out of the 16 versus 16 talents, and they need to use these if they want to have a chance in this game, because so far they're getting slaughtered.
Yeah, they need to wait for 16. In fact, I would probably just give this support overall. The ability for an Entomb to come out is so easy to hit on Cassia in particular, as well as Gul'dan, that they can force an engage at any point. The playing Ducks pull on back, and they're going to grab Mercenary Camps. Get top lane pushing, get in the bottom lane pushing, set up for a big siege potential in the bottom, so they can get a fort if their opponent is doing a really good job at defending these shrines.
And the 5-man potential for Synergy is there. That's the craziest part about it. They never really got those fights because they're just not patient enough, but their 5-man is definitely strong. If you get the blinds in with Cassia once the Entomb gets dropped, what exactly are Force and Greymane going to do? For just a moment, they will not really get that burst that they need. The Horrify. Have you ever seen any good combo where Horrify came out as they're engaging these fights? No, because they never had all 5 heroes in that spot on even talents. Now they have 16 any second. This is really the moment to group and to say, okay, we can make something work. This is where they need to look for a good engagement.
Gotta agree with you here. Johanna, even in the top lane, the playing Ducks, though, are not providing an opportunity for Synergy to move in for those engages, but they can take this wall, grab stuff here. They are behind in force and infrastructure, and they know it, so grab what they can, get the experience, and bolster these Giants with the push.
Yeah, top lane now. The Haka is trying to defend this. Keep in mind that Ducks are aiming for 20, and they are only 1 level and a bit away from it. So Synergy, they have a chance, but they need to go for their group. Neon is safe here. Nanda was trying to get some kills happening with the Entomb, but Chris didn't follow up as he was not quite sure if they engaged a bit too deep here. And Power of Dreams was waiting in the shadows already.
Power did zone out Johanna. She could not rotate in. Sport Billy looked like he may have wanted to go for a Mighty Gust, but not quite in the best position, and not knowing where a Nubrak was. He waited out.
Yeah. Also, by now, we have Martial Law taken from Cassia on the level 16 after on 13. We saw Seraphim's Hymn. So now we have even a bit of percentage damage for Cassia that she can drop here. And they give up the... Wait, what?
Miscommunication. Dahaka ran at the top to grab the beacon. It was a half a second too late. He actually had started channeling it. And the playing Ducks just with Sport Billy in the middle.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but this can't happen. Not in the situation they're in right now. They want to go for the fight. They want to take this fight because it's the last fight they get on 16 versus 16 talents. Now that the Dragonite is taken, the Ducks are going to get 20. And which means that Synergy will have to take a fight that is disadvantageous for them. So something like this, in this situation, cannot happen. You cannot let your opponent sneak a Dragonite if you want to come back into this. Now they rely on playing Ducks making a mistake. Synergy needs the Ducks to make a mistake that they can capitalize on.
They're not doing anything to make a mistake, though. They have a scouting drone on the top right, which means the Haka can get a proper flank without them seeing it. They're just pushing it in. They're going straight for the keep. Karazim was helping Soak. He does rotate in to help out with the heal. So Gul'dan can get decent damage in, but it's not enough as the keep falls, and now we have catapult pressure on the bottom, while the Haka has committed to pushing top lane. And to be honest, why not? They need to get the experience here, and they need to get to 20, but the playing Ducks will take whatever they can for the moment.
So the Ducks right now... Alright, let's think about Synergy for a second. They are now down 2 talents. Sorry, 1 talent, but 2 levels. So they need to soak 2 levels until the Dragonite comes online again. And for that to happen, they need to either take a team fight that is a disadvantage for them and get a couple of kills, or they need instead to take a few structures out. Those are the 2 options that they have. If that's not the case, then they are going to have to take a fight that is at a disadvantage for them. Maybe they can play around the shrines being active on the map for a little bit thanks to the globals and good rotations. They have shown on Braxis that they can do that and pull that off, but they are completely in a position where they have to be extremely defensive. The Ducks have complete control over the battlefield right now, and unless there is a spot-on Horrify, Synergy is not going to get the kill right now.
Well, that is a good thing for Synergy, as they do have the Horrify, which makes it harder for the playing Ducks to effectively just straight up take a keep here. They could get to 19.5, 19.75 before the next Shrine phase, and maybe with some misplays from the playing Ducks, get to level 20, and that would get them on the even footing. But you're right about being defensive. They just have to float around, and Neon in particular cannot overstep. All he needs to do is just clear out waves, or punish the Ducks if they overextend. That's his main goal until 20.
It's actually for them kind of... Right now it fits them a little bit that they lost the keep of the bot lane because it pushes the lane in so they can stay safe back at their base and grab the experience there. But they need to be really cautious now. And the Ducks, you can see that for them it's currently a situation where they're saying, pushing into the key, we don't really want to do that. If there's a Cocoon and a Horror fight, we might actually lose that fight. So instead, we're just dominating the map. We're going to take every single camp that is available. We're going to wait for the next Dragon Knight to come online. And once we get the next Dragon Knight, we end the game. And that is what Synergy needs to be worrying about right now.
Yep, and they synchronize the Giants on the bottom as well as the Mercenary camp on the top. The Knights will be pushing in and get around on the top left there, which means they could go in for an aggressive play onto Haka. They'll have everything pushing into their opponent, which opens up the ability for them to grab a dragon. And at this point, if you're Synergy, I think you just give it up and hope for a miracle defense.
Synergy doesn't have vision. They don't see anything. Yeah. Everybody on the side of the Ducks has been hiding for the longest time. We finally have a few heroes appearing in the mid lane, but they've been just hiding in bushes the entire time. So if you put yourself in Synergy's shoes right now, the mini-map is dark. You don't see anything. This is why the Haka moved out to the top a little bit and then decided to move back, because he was simply in a spot where he said, I don't know what to do here. We don't know where they are. And they went for Wind Tunnel to get a kill on power.
Wind Tunnel on the top left, he uses Cocoon. The ball set actually gets picked off, and that gives 20. That's Synergy.
It's actually kind of funny because he got Cocooned immediately. If they would have been able to Cocoon him before he gets the ult off, they might have even gotten the kill without even losing anyone. But now they lost one of their main tanks. But killing Falstad is actually big in this setup. That's a lot of damage and also a lot of utility.
Makes also the Horrify more effective. Get the Horrify off, there isn't a Gust to disengage here, so there is a possibility for Synergy to get into a fight and make it work. Let's see if they can break it out here. Chris being the main damage is the main target. Seth could come to the side here and apply some damage.
Blind has already been applied, so yes, Blind is in. But we still have the Dragon Knight being chunked down right now. And the ult on Cassia, we have in this case, by the way, them going for Titan's Revenge. It's a lot of damage output, but is it enough? The core is down to 40% and it does not look like Synergy can stop that onslaught.
They cannot. The perfect spread out from the playing Ducks allows them to focus the core, and they gain a victory and will take a lead in the series, 2-1.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing game for Synergy. We had two major problems there, two fights they should not have. First of all, they let the Dragon Knight slide. That was the second one. And the first big mistake was to take a disadvantageous battle when they were level 12 and so close to level 13. So last game was awesome by them, Braxis. Now that we saw Dragonshire, there was a bit more of a letdown from their end. But again, we have a pretty fun series with a lot of back and forth, but that was definitely a dominant map for the playing Ducks. So now the question, of course, still remains, can Synergy bounce back again? Tie the series once more and force the 5th map? Or will they just get slaughtered on map number 4? But the Ducks definitely showing up here.
Yeah, that 12-13 moment was pretty crazy. I can see a world where you're trying to get the surprise factor. Maybe you get a pick off because you Cocoon immediately. But the thing is, like, 2 members on the map actually weren't showing up. They were just sitting in the bush waiting for something to happen. And that's allowed playing Ducks to respawn perfectly. We had Falstad fly in. We had the Leoric rotating in. If you're going to make those crazy plays, you got to make sure you see everybody on the battleground and have a feel where they're at, especially on a small map like Dragonshire. Let's go ahead and get ready for game number 4. We'll be right back here. The Playing Ducks and Synergy going at it. Playing Ducks lead 2-1.
Scrapes and adventures than I can count. That being said, I've never seen anything like this.
Hail, hero!
Is that a frog in a bubble? Oh gosh, they are so cute. Well then, there's so many friendly people here. Coming through. Love the hair.
Oh, the cavalry's here!
This place is awesome! I found some Vikings! heroes. Ah! Not funny! Life is an adventure. I mean, have you seen this Nexus place? There's limitless worlds to explore. Constantly new things to see. Ew! Sure, there's danger too. What's an adventure without a little action? Oh, I can help with that. I am a Storm Scout after all. And for Storm Scouts, life is an adventure.
Welcome back to HGC Europe. We're getting ready for game number 4 here. The Playing Ducks are leading 2-1 over Synergy. Synergy, they started out pretty well, looking pretty good. Game number 2 looked much better, but we go into game 3, and they just seem to peter out, man.
Yeah, they fell back into old and bad habits, and they have to shut that down going into the 4th map and just show us that they can do exactly what they did on Brexis one more time.
Let's see if they can pull that out. Next battleground that we'll be going to, it looks like it's going to be a good one here. Tomb of the Spider Queen. And the last time we saw Synergy on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Caldor's heart was so upset with Synergy. And hopefully today it'll be a little bit better. They also pulled off a really odd composition. They ran Zaragoza. They were looking for these really hard engages. They just couldn't pull it off.
I was absolutely fine with the comp.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a comp where I say, okay, this is like the most meta, but Synergy is the team